Amy, a lot of young people dream of, becoming an influencer, and a few of becoming a futurist. How to become a futurist?
Well, I would hope that everybody dreams of becoming a futurist. Futurism has a long background going back 100 years. Our job is not to make predictions, but instead to make connections, to find data, and to use models to find trends and signals, and then to think about how those trends might evolve over time, and then to build scenarios that describe the future, and then to create strategy so that we can develop our best possible futures. It's a rigorous process, but anybody can do it. Anybody can.
So we aren't talking about predictions, we talk about connections and scenarios. And what are the scenarios you see for marketing in the future?
Sure. Well, let me just say about predictions. The reason that I don't make predictions is because there are too many variables. So if it was a football game, there's only a certain number of players, there's one ball. We could probably make some predictions about the outcomes, but if you're thinking about marketing and virtual reality or extended reality, and how all of that might look 10 years in the future, there's still a lot of development. So instead of trying to predict the year 2034 is the year that everybody will have their headset, instead, let's say, well, over the next 5 years, we think that people will experiment more with extended reality, and maybe in 10 years, it's likely that more people will have headsets, more of that kind of thing. There's a ton of opportunity for marketing. We are able to collect all kinds of new data in so many new places to have a better and more deep understanding about consumers and how they think and how they behave. So I think the golden era, the golden age of marketing is ahead. I think there's so many possibilities.
There are millions of marketing decisions makers watching this, and they are really happy now. There's a big era of marketing.
They should be happy. Now, things will change. So this is the catch. I think that there are, because of biodata and voice data and all these different points of data that we are leaving, there are lots of ways, even with the GDPR and privacy restrictions, there are so many ways to learn more about each other and to make better decisions for consumers. I think there's enormous possibility for marketers, but they will have to refresh their skills.
What does it mean?
To refresh your skills?
Their skills, the skills of a marketer.
I think what we're talking about is learning some fundamentals of data science, learning more about the technologies and tools that can take our facial data, our voice data, our gestures, how we type, all of these different points of data. You don't have to be a data scientist, but any marketer can understand what are all of these technologies and how do they work. And that will position you to have a very successful future, I think.
And what are the biggest risks and dangers you see or you predict?
Privacy, the end of privacy, I think is a big danger. Certainly for people in marketing, losing consumer trust. All it's going to take is one marketing project gone very wrong that could lead to restrictive regulations or consumers who don't trust brands anymore or the technologies. So I do think we have to be very careful about how we use all of this data, and companies have to learn how to prioritize safety over speed, and they must prioritize privacy whenever possible.
And what are the biggest trends a marketer can profit today from?
There's a lot to pay attention to. So if I was a marketer, I would be looking at trends in wearable devices, and not just smartwatches, but there are lots of different ones that are coming soon. There are smart belts, smart shoes, smart yoga pants, smart earable devices that collect your biometric data. So I would be looking at that.
Because of the data.
Because of data collection.
Yeah.
There's a really new field called behavioral biometrics, which is kind of like predictive analytics, but using all of these new data points that we didn't have some years ago. So I would be looking at those trends. I would be looking at trends in extended reality. So this is augmented reality and virtual reality, but also new tools like Magic Leap, which is a headset that you can wear.
So you call it extended reality?
I mean, honestly, everybody calls it something different. Mixed reality, extended reality, I think are the two ways that people refer to it. But that's another big opportunity. Esports, I think, is another huge opportunity for marketers that I don't think they've quite gotten around to yet. Obviously, sports and brands, there's a nice connection. Esports is taking the world by storm. So that would be another area to pay attention to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.